Greetings, legends. Welcome back to True South Politics, where we serve political drama faster than a servo pie at 3 a.m. Now imagine this. You're at a classy dinner party, crystal glasses, white linen, polite chatter. Suddenly, the room goes quiet. Pauline Hanson leans across the table, looks Sussan Ley dead in the eye and says, "Sorry, Sussan, you won't last the distance. You won't be there at the next election." No build-up, no hesitation. Just a blunt political knockout blow served before dessert. What happened next turned a private dinner into the most talked about roast in Canberra. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why Pauline Hanson's words are still echoing through Parliament like a thunderclap. Before we dive in, quick check. Are you tuning in from Sydney, Perth, or somewhere in between? Drop your city in the comments. I want to see where the political junkies are watching from. Alright, let's break down the dinner party from hell. It started as a simple meal between two politicians. But in true Hanson style, the pleasantries didn't last long. She didn't butter the bread, she buttered Sussan Ley up for demolition. According to Hanson, she looked Ley squarely in the eye and delivered the line that will follow Ley for the rest of her career. You won't last the distance. You won't be there at the next election. That's not just a jab. That's a funeral speech for someone's political career, delivered while the entrees were still on the table. And here's the kicker. Hanson didn't say it behind Ley's back. She said it to her face, with the calmness of someone ordering a flat white. Question for you. If someone said that to you over dinner, would you clap back instantly, or would you laugh it off? Let me know in the comments, because I can't decide whether Ley's response was brave or reckless. But this wasn't just about bruised egos. It cut to the heart of a much bigger identity crisis brewing inside the Liberal Party. Hanson didn't stop at predicting Ley's downfall. She twisted the knife further, describing her as nice, but not conservative. Now, in politics, being called nice is like being told you'd make a great backup dancer when you're trying out to be the lead singer. It's faint praise, dressed up as kindness, but really it's a takedown. Hanson went on to accuse Ley of sitting too far left for the Liberal Party, which is brutal when you think about it. Because if the Liberal Party can't decide what conservative means anymore, how do they expect voters to? It's like watching a chameleon get criticized for changing colors too often. And Hanson, being Hanson, made sure the whole nation knew exactly what she thought of it. But Ley wasn't about to sit quietly while her career got carved up like the roast lamb. Now here's where the dinner got spicy. Instead of awkwardly sipping her wine and pretending she hadn't just been verbally flattened, Sussan Ley shot back. She told Hanson straight up, "I'll prove you wrong. You've got to respect that. It takes guts to stare down Pauline Hanson at close range. Most politicians would have dodged, deflected, or changed the subject to Netflix shows. Not Ley. She went toe-to-toe, even if the odds weren't in her favor, but Hanson wasn't done. Oh no. What started as a personal prediction turned into a full-blown policy brawl, and that's when things went from awkward dinner vibes to political cage match. For Hanson, Ley wasn't just the wrong person for the job. She was the symbol of a party gone soft. Take Hanson's push for a Senate inquiry into gender dysphoria treatments for children. When she raised the idea, the coalition's reaction, according to her, they went kicking and screaming. Some MPs didn't even want to be in the room. That image alone is wild. Politicians fleeing like school kids trying to skip class just to avoid voting. Hanson's fury boiled over. How can you stand back and see this going on and not speak up? Whether you agree with her or not, you can't ignore the passion. In politics, silence is sometimes louder than shouting, and Hanson was determined to make the coalition's silence deafening. But just when you thought the argument had peaked, she pivoted to something even more explosive. Australia's economic crisis. If you think Hanson reserved her fire for dinner parties, think again. She went public, torching the coalition over their slow review of net zero policies. When Shadow Minister Dan Tehan said it could take 9 to 12 months to review the policy, Hanson lost it. 12 months? My God, where have they been? To her, waiting a year for answers while Aussies are drowning in bills is insanity. She rattled off the numbers. Cost of living soaring. 30,000 small businesses closing. Manufacturing bleeding jobs overseas. That's not abstract politics. That's everyday Australians wondering if they'll make it to next month. And then Hanson delivered her final brutal swipe. And Sussan Ley, get the hell out of the job because you absolutely have no idea what you're talking about. That wasn't a critique. That was a demolition job. Calm, direct, and devastating. Now the real question is, what does this say about the future of conservative politics in Australia? This dinner party from hell wasn't just two politicians sparring over wine. It was a symbol of the chaos simmering under the surface of Australian conservatism. On one side, you've got One Nation, loud, uncompromising, branding itself as the voice of real conservatives. On the other, the Liberal Party, struggling to define itself after crushing electoral losses. It's like watching a family Christmas where half the relatives don't even agree on what family means anymore. And Hanson, she's the one at the head of the table telling uncomfortable truths no one else wants to say out loud. Now, whether you admire her honesty or roll your eyes at her bluntness, you can't deny one thing. She knows how to make headlines. So the million-dollar questions are these. Will Sussan Ley survive long enough to prove Hanson wrong? Will the Liberals reclaim their conservative backbone or drift even further into ideological confusion? And most importantly, will dinner parties in Canberra ever be safe again? One thing's clear. Australian politics is never boring. In the space of a single dinner, Pauline Hanson managed to predict a downfall, launch a policy war, and torch an entire party's credibility, all without raising her voice. That's what makes her both feared and admired. She says what others only whisper. Now it's over to you. Do you think Hanson's prediction will come true? Will Sussan Ley still be standing after the next election, or will Hanson's political crystal ball prove scarily accurate? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And while you're there, let me know what you'd say if someone told you your career had an expiry date over dinner. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Australia's spiciest political dinner, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because here at True South Politics, we bring you political drama hotter than a summer in Darwin. Until next time, keep watching, keep questioning, and remember, in Australian politics, even dinner can turn into demolition. Cheers.